correlation. Match each scatter plot to a correlation coefficient below and describe the correlation. So if we have a look at it, I'm looking at all of these different graphs which are showing me some type of correlation. For graph A and I can see that I've got straight lines. So what I'm going to say is, because this straight line is moving in a positive direction, I'm going to say that the correlation coefficient here is R equals 1. And what I'm really describing is perfect positive correlation. And that's how I describe it, perfect positive correlation. Now for part I also have R, but my graph is going in a negative direction. So I say my correlation coefficient is -1, and what this has now is perfect negative correlation. So these are two of them that have now gone away. So if I have a look at B, if I was to look at this graph, I'd say it's in a negative direction because it's looking that way. And so if I'm looking through my correlations, it looks almost like it's a straight line, but there's a whole lot of dots going around all over the place. So I'm going to say that R equals -0.9. And I'm going to say that it is a strong negative correlation. So part C, what I have is I have my dots. It kind of looks like it's going up in a positive direction. It's not a perfect correlation. The dots are a lot more spread out than this -1 for B. So if I have a look down at the choices I have, I'm going to say that R is probably 0.7. So R, my correlation is 0.7. And this is a moderate positive correlation. Positive because the dots are going in a positive direction. I can almost put a straight line through them. And it's not as strong as 1. It's slightly weaker than B as well, so 0.7. So for D, I'm having a look at that. I kind of have my dots that are in a negative direction, so I'm going to be looking at my negative correlations. So I've got 0.5 and 0.9. Well, the further away from 1 it is, the less correlated it is. So I'm going to say that R equals -0.5. And I'm going to say that has a moderate negative correlation. So for E, all I seem to have here are random dots. They don't seem to be organized in any order. So I'm going to say that my correlation is 0. That is, it's got no correlation whatsoever. Part F, well, my dots kind of are going in a positive direction, but they're really very spread out. So the further away from 1, the less correlation we have. So I'm going to give this a correlation of R equals 0.3. And that's a weak to moderate positive correlation. For G, once again, my dots are going in a positive direction, and they're pretty close to that straight line I drew. So that means it must be pretty close to 1. So the correlation that best fits that is R equals 0.8. And that would be a strong positive correlation. For H, well, I kind of think that my dots are in a negative direction, but they're a long way away from any straight line. So remembering that a correlation is a weaker one if it's further spread away. So here I'm going to use R equals -0.2, and I'm going to say that is a weak negative correlation. Thanks for watching.